Have you ever wondered why your feet feel numb, tingly, or cold even when you're not out in the cold? Many older adults brush off these symptoms, assuming they're just part of aging. But what if some of the fruits you eat every day, fruits you've believed were healthy for decades, are quietly making things worse? What if they're contributing to nerve damage, inflammation, and blood sugar spikes that directly affect the nerves in your feet? The truth is, not all fruits are good for seniors, especially for those who suffer from peripheral neuropathy, diabetes, or chronic circulation issues. And yet these same fruits are often found in bowls on kitchen counters, or added to morning breakfast without a second thought. Today, we're shedding light on 6 of the worst fruits for seniors. Fruits that could be silently worsening foot numbness and putting your health at risk. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Peripheral neuropathy affects over 25 million seniors in the US. It's a condition where the nerves in your extremities, often the feet, begin to malfunction. It can cause numbness, burning, tingling, or a sense that you're walking on cotton. For diabetics and older adults with poor circulation, this condition can escalate quickly, even leading to falls, infections, or foot ulcers. So what's fruit got to do with it? While fruits are naturally rich in vitamins and fiber, some are dangerously high in sugar, trigger inflammation, or contain acids and compounds that aggravate nerve problems. For seniors, especially those already vulnerable, these fruits can do more harm than good. Let's walk through the 6 fruits you need to either avoid or limit drastically, starting today. Star fruit, the hidden sugar bomb. Star fruit, vibrant, tropical, and sweet, is often seen as a symbol of health and vitality. It's the kind of fruit many seniors have enjoyed throughout their lives, especially in summer salads or as a refreshing snack. But behind its cheerful appearance lies a silent danger, particularly for older adults dealing with circulation problems, diabetes, or nerve sensitivity in their feet. What many don't realize is that star fruit is extremely high in natural sugars, especially fructose. While it's natural, sugar is still sugar, and when consumed in high amounts, it can cause real harm. A single cup of star fruit can contain more than 16 g of sugar, which enters the bloodstream quickly. For seniors whose bodies may not process sugar as efficiently as before, this sudden spike in blood glucose can be harmful. Over time, it contributes to what doctors call glycemic stress, a harmful cycle where blood sugar rises sharply and then crashes, robbing your nerves of the nutrients and oxygen they desperately need to stay healthy. In the feet, this damage becomes obvious: tingling, numbness, or a cottony feeling when walking. It might feel like your foot is half asleep, even when you've been sitting for hours. That sensation isn't just uncomfortable, it's a warning sign. It means your nerves are beginning to misfire, possibly even die off from lack of proper blood flow and excess sugar in your bloodstream. And star fruit, eaten frequently or in large amounts, can silently speed up this process. There's also an inflammatory factor to consider. Star fruit contains actinidine, a compound that in some people can irritate the gut or act as a histamine trigger. Combined with the sugar content, this fruit, though natural, can fuel chronic inflammation that spreads to your joints, your circulation, and eventually your peripheral nerves. The very fruit that once felt like a healthy indulgence may now be quietly attacking the foundation of your mobility and comfort. And the most dangerous part? Star fruit doesn't taste like danger, it tastes like summer. It tastes like youth. But for aging nerves and fragile feet, it's often a sweet deception. What about other fruits that feel safe but do just as much harm? Or worse? Let's look at one that hides behind a mask of hydration and simplicity, yet may be one of the most misleading fruits on your plate. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Honeydew. Refreshing but dangerous. On a warm day, there's almost nothing more satisfying than biting into a cold, juicy slice of honeydew. It brings back memories of childhood picnics, family reunions, and laughter in the summer sun. Honeydew feels innocent, even healing. After all, it's mostly water, right? How could something so simple, so natural, be harmful? But for seniors, especially those dealing with numbness or tingling in the feet, the truth is unsettling. Honeydew, despite its refreshing taste and low calorie count, has a very high glycemic index, meaning it causes blood sugar to rise rapidly, almost like candy. That quick rise and fall in glucose levels may not be noticeable at first, but over time these repeated surges weaken the small blood vessels that feed your nerves, especially in your extremities. When your blood sugar spikes, your body goes into overdrive trying to balance it out, but the nerves, especially the ones farthest from your heart like those in your feet, are the first to suffer. They become inflamed, oxygen deprived, and damaged. And once nerve damage begins, it rarely reverses. That gentle tingling in your toes, that sensation of walking on pebbles or cold cement, these could be signs of something more serious unfolding silently over years. Honeydew may also give a false sense of hydration. Yes, it contains water, but it lacks the essential electrolytes and fiber your body needs to process sugar safely. You may feel refreshed in the moment, but inside, your nerves are struggling to cope with the storm of glucose rushing through your bloodstream. For many older adults, especially those managing diabetes or prediabetes, honeydew is a silent saboteur, sweet on the surface but dangerous in the long run. The most heartbreaking part? It's often eaten with the belief that it's helping, when in reality it's quietly contributing to nerve degeneration, imbalance, and increased risk of falls. And if a fruit as watery and innocent as honeydew can cause this much harm, what about the ones that come in smaller bite-sized forms? Fruits you can pop in your mouth without even thinking? Let's turn to one of the most deceptively dangerous fruits found in almost every senior's fridge. Cherries, the silent saboteurs. They're small, sweet, and easy to snack on. Cherries are often seen as one of the most harmless fruits. You might keep a bowl on your table, reaching for a few as you read the paper or watch television. They seem like a smart choice compared to chips or cookies. But for older adults, especially those struggling with numbness, tingling, or burning in their feet, cherries may be one of the most misleading fruits of all. What makes cherries so dangerous isn't just their sugar content, though that alone is worth noting, as just 1 cup of cherries can contain up to 23 grams of sugar. The real problem lies in the type of sugar, fructose, which can overwhelm the liver, spike blood sugar, and quietly contribute to metabolic imbalances. For seniors whose insulin sensitivity may already be reduced, these spikes and crashes wear down the nerves, particularly those farthest from the core, the feet. The sugar in cherries is absorbed rapidly because they contain almost no fiber. That means each handful can deliver a sudden flood of sugar into your bloodstream. Over time, this leads to inflammation of the blood vessels and nerve endings, choking off the delicate pathways that keep your legs and feet feeling alive. What starts as a subtle tingling sensation may slowly grow into a deep burning discomfort, or worse, numbness so severe you can't feel the ground beneath your feet. Worse yet, cherries are addictive. Their small size and sweet flavor make them dangerously easy to overeat. Unlike a heavy dessert, you rarely realize when you've had too much, but your nerves do. They feel the effects with every extra gram of sugar, with every drop in circulation, with every moment of oxidative stress that chips away at their strength. And let's not forget, cherries are often paired with cheese, crackers, or even wine, combinations that only magnify the sugar load and inflame the nervous system even more. What seems like an innocent pleasure becomes a slow-acting threat to your comfort, balance, and independence. If cherries, so tiny and trusted, can sabotage your health like this, imagine what happens when a fruit is not only sweet, but also falsely praised as heart-healthy. Let's take a closer look at one fruit that's probably been in your morning routine for decades, yet may be quietly swelling your nerves from the inside out. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. Plantains. Too much of a good thing. There's a quiet comfort in peeling a plantain. It's soft, familiar, and easy to digest, a staple for many older adults who reach for it as part of their morning routine. You've probably heard for years that plantains are good for potassium or helpful for muscle cramps. And while that holds some truth, the story doesn't end there. In fact, for seniors experiencing numbness or tingling in the feet, plantains may be doing far more harm than good. What often goes unnoticed is that plantains, especially when fully ripe, are extremely high in natural sugar. A single medium plantain can contain up to 17 g of sugar, most of it in the form of glucose and fructose, two of the key culprits behind blood sugar spikes. These sudden elevations in glucose can be especially dangerous for older adults with decreased insulin sensitivity, prediabetes, or type 2 diabetes, all of which are common in later life. Over time, these sugar surges contribute to inflammation and swelling around peripheral nerves, particularly those in the lower legs and feet. When nerve tissue becomes inflamed, it disrupts the electrical signals responsible for feeling and movement. That tingling you feel in your toes, the cold sensation even when the room is warm, those are signals that the nerves are being starved and stressed. Plantains also contain a natural compound called tyramine, which can affect blood vessel constriction and pressure. While harmless in moderation, in excess, or when combined with certain medications, it can cause changes in blood flow, further compromising circulation to the feet. And when blood doesn't flow properly, nerves don't heal. They die. Slowly. Quietly. Often without warning. We eat plantains believing they support our heart and muscles, but rarely consider the toll they may take on our most vulnerable nerves. It's a perfect example of how something healthy can become harmful when the body changes with age. But if plantains, long trusted and beloved, can cause so much hidden damage, what happens when the fruit isn't just sweet but also concentrated into a potent form that amplifies every risk? Let's now look at one type of fruit that packs a sugary punch in the smallest possible serving, and the consequences may surprise you. Dried fruits, concentrated trouble. They may look harmless in your pantry, a handful of cranberries, a few dates, maybe some dried peaches or figs sealed in a zippered bag. You might even sprinkle them on your cereal, thinking you're adding fiber and natural sweetness. For decades, dried fruits have carried a reputation of being healthy snacks, often chosen as a better alternative to processed desserts. But what most people don't realize, especially older adults, is that dried fruits are among the most concentrated sources of sugar you can eat. And for aging nerves, especially in your feet, that concentrated sweetness can become a slow, devastating poison. When fruits are dried, they lose water but retain their sugar, and not just retain it, they concentrate it. What was once a single piece of fresh fruit becomes a compact bite packed with fructose and glucose. A small handful of dried cranberries, for instance, can have as much sugar as a chocolate bar, without the obvious guilt. That's the hidden danger. Dried fruits feel innocent, almost medicinal. But for seniors, particularly those already facing blood sugar issues or nerve damage, they are a trap in disguise. This concentrated sugar hits your system fast, flooding your bloodstream and overwhelming your insulin response. For older adults whose bodies are no longer as metabolically resilient, this means higher blood sugar levels that linger longer, directly feeding nerve inflammation. Over time, repeated exposure to this sugar surge causes damage to the blood vessels that supply your peripheral nerves, especially in your legs and feet. That warm, burning sensation at night, or the growing numbness that makes it hard to feel the floor beneath your toes. These are signs your nerves are gasping for help, and dried fruits may be pushing them closer to silence. Even worse, dried fruits are often treated with preservatives like sulfites, which can trigger additional inflammation or allergic responses. And because they're small and chewy, they're easy to overeat, far too easy. Now imagine a fruit that isn't dried but still hides behind a friendly face, a fruit we often associate with health, immunity, and vitality, yet for many seniors it can quietly irritate nerves and interfere with the very medications meant to protect them. Let's turn to the final fruit on our list, one that might surprise you even more. Tangerines, not always, heart healthy. For generations, tangerines have been a symbol of good health. From childhood breakfast to senior center lunches, they've been trusted for their vitamin C and immunity-boosting reputation. You may remember being told during flu season to drink tangerine juice or Eat a whole tangerine to stay strong. And while some of that advice still holds true in the right context for seniors, especially those living with nerve issues, diabetes, or circulatory challenges, tangerines can be more harmful than helpful. The truth is, tangerines contain a significant amount of sugar, and when consumed regularly, especially in juice form, they can raise blood sugar levels rapidly. A single medium tangerine contains around 12 dread of sugar, but when juiced, the fiber that slows absorption is stripped away, leaving behind a sugary liquid that acts more like a soft drink than a fruit. For older adults with slower metabolic function and reduced insulin sensitivity, this sugar overload can be especially dangerous. Over time, it wears down the delicate blood vessels that nourish the peripheral nerves, including those in your feet. Beyond the sugar content, tangerines are highly acidic. While the acid may not affect younger, healthier bodies much, it can irritate already inflamed or sensitive nerves, making that familiar tingling or burning sensation in the feet feel worse. For those with neuropathy, this can intensify discomfort, increase nerve hypersensitivity, and even disrupt sleep, all from a fruit believed to be safe. What's even more alarming is that tangerines can interfere with medications commonly prescribed to older adults. They can disrupt the way your body metabolizes statins, blood pressure drugs, and certain anti-inflammatory medications. That means the very fruit you think is helping your heart may actually be reducing the effectiveness of your treatment while silently aggravating the nerve pain in your lower legs and feet. So while tangerines may still have a place in some diets, they are not always a harmless choice, especially when consumed daily or without understanding their full impact. Now that you've seen how even trusted fruits can sabotage your nerve health, you may be wondering, what should I eat instead? The answer may surprise you, because some of the best fruits for your feet are the ones most often overlooked. What can you do instead? Healthier fruit. Alternatives. After learning how certain fruits can quietly damage your nerves and worsen numbness in your feet, it's easy to feel discouraged, even betrayed. After all, these are foods we were once told to embrace. But growing older changes the rules. Our bodies become more sensitive, our nerves more vulnerable, and what once nourished us may now work against us. Still, the goal isn't to give up on fruit altogether. It's to make wiser, more intentional choices, ones that protect your nerves, support your circulation, and work with your aging body, not against it. Start by reaching for fruits that are naturally low in sugar and rich in fiber and antioxidants. Blackberries, such as boysenberries, mulberries, and elderberries, are some of the best allies for seniors. They're sweet enough to satisfy cravings, but low enough on the glycemic index to avoid dangerous blood sugar spikes. Packed with anti-inflammatory compounds, blackberries actively support nerve health and reduce oxidative stress, which can ease the progression of neuropathy. Kiwis, though often forgotten as a fruit option, are another powerful choice. Their healthy nutrients support heart health and stabilize blood sugar, helping to preserve nerve function and protect blood vessels. Unlike sugary fruits, kiwis nourish the body without overstimulating it, offering calm, steady energy. Pears, especially, when eaten with the skin, offer a satisfying crunch with a good balance of natural sugar and fiber. They digest slowly, helping to maintain steady glucose levels throughout the day. And limes, though sour and often used as an accent, provide essential vitamin C and support detoxification without the heavy sugar load of tangerines. The key is not to avoid fruit entirely, but to choose those that work in harmony with your body's changing needs. Combine these fruits with protein or healthy fats, a handful of nuts, a slice of cheese, to slow digestion and give your body the time it needs to absorb nutrients safely. This stage of life is not about restriction but about wisdom, using what you now know to preserve your mobility, your independence, and your peace of mind. And as you continue this journey, you may wonder what other foods long believed to be healthy could be quietly undermining your well-being. The answers may surprise you and empower you. Final thoughts. Your feet are speaking to you. Are you listening? As we grow older, we begin to understand that health isn't just about what we add. It's also about what we choose to let go. The fruits we've talked about may be colorful, familiar, even comforting, but they don't always serve the bodies we live in today. And that's the hard truth many of us never hear, that something so natural can become harmful when the years catch up with us. I say this not just as someone who's read the research, but as someone who's lived long enough to feel the shifts in my legs, in my feet, in the quiet messages my body sends before pain becomes permanent. We must listen more closely. Now, our nerves don't shout, they whisper. They speak in numbness, in balance lost, in tingling that wasn't there last year. And those whispers matter because behind them is a call for change. And the time to respond is now. The choices we make at this stage of life carry great weight, not just for our comfort, but for our independence, our safety, and our ability to keep moving forward with strength. If changing the fruits on your plate can reduce the burning in your feet, steady your walk, or give you one more year without needing assistance, isn't it worth it? You've lived long, and you've earned the right to feel good in your own body. Don't let outdated habits steal that from you. Choose wisely, walk wisely, and remember, sometimes the smallest change can be the first step toward a stronger, steadier tomorrow. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.